Hey there, guys. Today we're gonna look at some expressions. It's gonna be about 10, 12 expressions in total. And I'm gonna explain them to the best of my abilities. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to practice, you can write them down in the comment section. So let's start. Our first expression is to pull something off. If you pull something off, that means that despite the difficulties, the problems, you're still able to make that thing to work. So, for example, you can pull off the test, right? Oh, you had a terrible headache, you didn't have a good night's sleep, but you're still able to pull it off. So I was able to pull off the exam. So you were able to make it happen and you got a good score and everything happened accordingly. Everything happened in the way that it was in a good way. Everything happened in a good way. So you pull it off. So let's look at the definition of pull something off. So to pull something off is to successfully accomplish or carry out a task or plan, often despite difficulties or obstacles. So you're successful in accomplishing something or to continuing doing something. So to carry out means to continue or to have some type of progress in something that you're doing. So a task is anything that you have to do. For example, your homework is a task, or if you have something that is very specific that you have to execute, that's called a task. Okay, so and obstacles is anything that it gets in your way. So, for example, if you're running and there is something in the middle of the way, that's an obstacle. So, for example, a wall can be an obstacle, a tree, a rock, anything that gets in your way, it can be called an obstacle. So you have something bad happening, there's some sort of problem there, but you're still able to pull things off. So our example sentence now is she was able to pull off a surprise birthday party for her husband. So she probably worked a lot, maybe she didn't have enough money, something happened, she was feeling sick, but she was still able to pull off the birthday party for her husband. Okay? So you could pull off something. So everything was hard, but I was still able to get to a conclusion, a good final result. Okay? And our next expression is to own someone. So own, own. So the pronunciation of own is O-U-N. O-U-N, own. To own someone. It's when you're doing much better than that person. Usually, it's when it's related to something that is competitive, right? So let's say you lose a soccer match, and you lose it terribly. So you got owned, right? It's kind of slang informal term. So you were owned, right? So let's look at the definition of it. To defeat or dominate someone in a competition or conflict. Okay, so he owned his opponent in the chess match. So he was much better than his opponent in the chess match. He just didn't simply won the match. He was much better, so he owned. Okay? And this is just an expression, be my guest. Let's say you are at uh, a person's house and the person says, be my guest. There's like food on the fridge, there's like food on the table. You can drink as much coffee or tea as you want. So be my guest. Be my guest. Feel comfortable. So a guest is a person that gets to someone's house, right? So please be my guest, right? So so to invite someone, often in a sense of generosity, right? So if you say that to a person, you have this sense of generosity. You're donating yourself, you're donating your things to a certain extent, right? Somehow you're donating yourself. So you are being generous, generous. You are being generous. So you are exercising generosity, okay? Generosity. So please be my guest. Help yourself with some food. Cool. All right. So be my guest. Next expression is a mixed bag. So first, let's look at the image. What do you see? That's right. There are beans and many different colors of beans, right? I think these are beans. So we have a lot of different colors, right? So if you have something that is in a mixed bag, it's you have a lot of different things and you have diversity, so very different things inside the same thing, right? So you don't only have rice, you don't only have beans, maybe you have rice and beans and something else. So that's a mixed bag. So that's the most obvious meaning, but we also have something that is just like if you're talking about something that varies in quality and quantity, okay? Um, so for example, a movie can have different uh, levels of quality, right? If something changes a lot throughout the throughout its duration. For let's stick with the movie for now because it's a very clear, precise, easy example to follow. So, for example, if you read this sentence right here, the movie was a mixed bag with some great moments and some really dull ones. So, the movie was a mixed bag. Okay, so the movie varied a lot, varied in quality. Okay, it varied in, so there was variation, okay, in the quality. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. So the movie was a mixed bag with some great moments and some really dull ones. So dull ones, what does that mean, dull ones? So first, dull is the same thing as boring. It's a synonym for boring. So dull. And ones, you can replace this word with moments. Okay, so with some great moments and some really dull moments. So the word once is just replacing the word moments, so we don't have to repeat ourselves, right? So with some great moments and some really dull ones. So the movie was filled with like great moments and some really dull moments. So dull ones. A really good structure. So now you're getting a little bit more familiarized with the word one used in a different way. So one replacing moments. So now we have the expression to rub off on someone. So to rub, that's what it means to rub, right? With a rubber, you erase things. So a rubber, if you're learning British English, you call it a rubber. In the United States, majoritarily people call it an eraser. So if you rub off on someone, that means that you're acquiring that person's characteristics. Okay? So, for example, working with her boss has really rubbed off on her, and she has become more confident and assertive. So, everything that her boss uh, was doing, his characteristics rubbed off on her, and because of that, she was able to become more confident and more assertive. So if you're assertive, that means that you know exactly how to act and you know the right words, right? You're not talking in circles, you're not talking around, you're being very assertive. Okay? Our next expression is take away. Take away. So, take away is the main idea. It's what you take with you after something ends, right? So, the main thing, the most important things, right? So the takeaways of the meeting, the takeaway of the movie, anything that is a main point, the main idea of something, the most important thing of something that you take with you, that's called the takeaway. So let's see the definition. So takeaway refers to a point or concept that is learned or retained from a situation or experience. So for example, the main takeaway from the meeting was that the project is going to require more resources. Okay, so that was the main point. The main point was that we need more resources. Okay, next expression is go getter. So let's look at this image. You have this man and he is jumping through something to get money, right? So, and he seems happy. So, if you're a go getter, that means that you are pursuing your dreams. You are very enthusiastic, happy, enthusiastic about the things that you're doing, and you do them very proactively. You go and do it. Okay, so you're being very proactive and you're doing things in a very happy manner, right? So you're a go getter. You don't feel as much tired, you don't complain much, you go there and you do things. So you are a go getter. So let's look at the definition. A person who is highly motivated and proactive in pursuing their goals and ambitions. So if you have a goal, you have a very specific uh, thing that you want to achieve, okay? And ambition is the things that you want in life. Maybe you want to grow spiritually, maybe you want a bigger house, or you want to buy a car. I don't know. So that's an ambition. Ambition. So if you have an ambition, you can call yourself ambitious, right? An ambitious person. An ambitious person has an ambition. Okay. So our example sentence is she is a real go-getter, always coming up with new ideas and finding ways to make them happen. So she always have all these new ideas and she's a real go-getter. She's very proactive, she's very enthusiastic. She goes there and do things, okay? Game changer, I really like this expression, a game changer, right? So, for example, I was um I've been going to the gym, and after I bought some earphones, now they are Bluetooth. They don't have a cord, right? Now I can move freely when I'm exercising. So um, this is a total game changer because my workouts are much more fun now, and I feel like I can work out much more than before. So this is a real game changer. So anything that changes the game, that changes the circumstances, um, you can call a game changer. Normally, if you say game changer, is usually for the better, for the better. So things get better with something that is a game changer. So a game changer is something that has a significant, pay attention to the stress word here, something that has a significant and transformative impact on a situation or industry. Okay, so our example sentence: the new app has been a game changer in the way people book and manage their travel plans. So, game changer. The new app has been a game changer. So, the new app changed the game, changed the way things were being done. Okay? All right, following we have strong arm. Strong arm someone. Look at the lady. She has a really big arm, right? So, to strong arm someone means to do some sort of tactic, some sort of exercise in a way that you make the person feel um, coerced. You make the person feel a little bit scared of you. So uh, you're being a little bit offensive. Okay, so if you strong arm someone, you are being a little bit offensive in order to try to make the person get in order to get what you want from the person or from the situation. Okay, so for example, so first let's read the definition. So strong arm is an aggressive tactic to get what one wants. Okay, so maybe you want something, maybe I want something, maybe they want something, and they're using a more aggressive, offensive type of action or behavior in order to get the things that they want. Okay, so for example, he tried to strong arm the small business into give him a discount by threatening to take his business elsewhere. So basically, he tried to say, hey, give me a discount. If you don't give me a discount, I'm gonna go somewhere else, right? So he tried to strong arm the business, the small business, right? Oh, you guys are not selling this for cheap, but I know a place that sells it for cheap. If you don't give me a discount, I'm gonna go there, right? So he's being offensive, aggressive. He's using an aggressive tactic in order to get what he wants. Okay. So next one, very nice one. I really like that one. So right up my alley. So this is an alley. Okay, it's a very tiny street. Usually, it doesn't have a way out. So a dead end street. Normally, cars are not able to go through alleys. Okay. So if you say that something is right up your alley, oh, that's right up my alley. That means that you're really into that thing. You really like that thing. Oh, that food or that part of the city or that type of music is right up my alley. So let's see an example. Solving complex problems is right up my alley. I love a good challenge. So that's the thing that I'm into. That's something that I really enjoy, right? That's right up my alley. Following, we have the expression deep pockets. So the ocean is deep. And if you have deep pockets, or if a company or organization has deep pockets, that means that they have a lot of money or resources. Okay, so lots of money and lots of resources and or lots of resources. So, for example, the company has deep pockets and it's able to invest in expensive new technologies. Okay, so they have deep pockets. They're able to invest in new expensive technologies because they have deep pockets. Okay, so let's look at this expression and see if we're able to make a deduction. If I tell you that I'm beside myself, right? Or she was beside herself, or she is beside herself. So I'm here, right? If I'm beside myself, that means that I'm here, but I'm also here. That basically means that I'm not able to control myself. It can have a good meaning or a bad meaning. It can mean that you're excited or that you're scared or that you're afraid, right? Something that you're basically not able to control your emotions because something good or something bad happened. Okay? So if you lose a family member, you may be beside yourself, right? Because you're very, very sad. Or if you get a scholarship or you win the lottery, you can be beside yourself because you're going to be very happy, right? So beside yourself. So the definition is to be extremely upset, anxious, or excited. So upset is the same as sad, and anxious, that's the pronunciation, guys. Anxious, anxious, anxious. Can you repeat that? Cool. Anxious or excited. So she was beside herself with joy when she heard the news that she had won the scholarship. Okay, so she was beside herself. She was extremely happy. She was extremely excited. All right, guys, that's all that we have for today's lesson. I hope you learned something, and leave it in the comments. Are you able to create sentences with these expressions? How many sentences can you create? So remember, it's really important for you to practice these these expressions in order to remember them and to actively use them. Okay? So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you again in the next video. Bye.